Caitlin Clark's golf debut just made me so upset with the WNBA.
Did you see what Caitlin Clark just did? The LPGA made a good move by swunging the entire sports world instead of just a golf club. Everyone is talking about Clark, and it's not basketball. You may be asking yourself, what is the connection between golf and the WNBA? You won't believe what the WNBA missed out on, so fasten your seatbelts because we're going to show you how one brilliant move by the LPGA taught the WNBA Marketing 101.
Debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
This is the offer. The LPGA invited Caitlin to a promo event, which at first wasn't even going to be broadcast on television. Can you believe that? Then fans began bombarding the LPGA's social media accounts, pleading for the opportunity to see Kay and play golf. This was unprecedented for the LPGA, and a lot of fans emailed the organization to ask how they could watch Caitlin and attend the event. Instead of dismissing the excitement, the LPGA listened and broadcast the event on television, making it accessible for those who were excited to watch Caitlin Clark's debut golf event. As a result, the LPGA event is expanding its Pram coverage around Caitlin Clark's participation golf channels. On Wednesday, golf will start 90 minutes early and feature live streaming. It has also been reported that you will witness Caitlin Clark's warm-up, but they went one step further and matched Caitlin with Nelly Korda. The world's top golfer talks about a power duo. This move brought attention to Caitlin's popularity while also drawing attention to Nelly and the LPGA. As a result, pictures of Caitlin and Nelly are all over the place. The LPGA was very wise to do this because they knew that Caitlin would be the center of attention. If they placed their top golfer, who is currently leading the sport and pushing it forward, next to Caitlin for the duration of the event, that's fantastic for Nelly and everyone else. In addition to showcasing Caitlin, the LPGA placed her next to their biggest star, as if to say, hey, you like basketball, check out how cool golf can be too, and you know what, it worked. The LPGA was promoting the shit out of this event, but here's where it gets really interesting. It wasn't just about Caitlin. The LPGA used her star power to shed light on their own players. People who might not have watched golf before were tuning in because of Caitlin, but they stayed because of the incredible golf they saw and the golf pros they loved. The LPGA's social media was on fire. They were posting pictures and videos of Caitlin left and right. You couldn't have scrolled through Twitter without seeing her face. The well-known golfer Brittany Lindholm couldn't stop complimenting Caitlin. She said what she has done for women's sports and basketball, and having her at our golf tournament made me think, I have a basketball and I hope she signs it for my girls. But how cool for her to come out and support us this week and only help grow women's golf. That's huge coming from a pro golfer. This wise move put Caitlin and herself in the spotlight, bringing new eyes to women's golf. It wasn't just a win for Caitlin or the LPGA, it was a victory for women's sports in general. However, you may be wondering how this relates to the WNBA. Unlike the WNBA, the LPGA demonstrated how to leverage celebrity power and took a gamble that paid off. There was no criticism of favoritism or diversity, just clever marketing that succeeded. Since this event, I have only heard and seen nice things. I haven't heard anything about how toxic her fans are. I didn't hear anything about Caitlin Clark receiving too much attention, which could have been directed towards the professional golfers present. These are the kinds of things we've been hearing about the entire WNBA season. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather the basketball player on the golf course, while Caitlin Clark was making waves in a brand new sport. Guess who wasn't there? The WNBA, of course. Their silence was so loud that it has everyone wondering what they were thinking. It's as if they forgot about Caitlin Clark entirely. Can you believe that the WNBA posted nothing at all about her playing in this promo event while the LPGA was yelling her name from the rooftops? It's almost as if they were acting as though it never happened, but guess what? It happened, and everyone was talking about it, with the exception of the WNBA. If you look at the LPGA's Twitter account, you'll see a ton of pictures of Caitlin Clark, a video of the fans cheering her, signing autographs, and taking pictures of their players hanging out with her. Of course, they're also showing off their golfers. You might be wondering if they missed it, but come on, how could they? Social internet was buzzing about Caitlin. Her face was all over the place. The LPGA was posting photos and videos nonstop. It was impossible to miss unless you were living under a rock, and last time I checked, the WNBA wasn't in the rock-dwelling business, and this was the perfect opportunity for the WNBA to do like, have you seen it when an NBA player or a football player? like goes to an NBA game or goes to wherever, and they'll be in the comments, or they'll just say something like something cute. This was the perfect time for the WNBA to also be posting about this. And they said, nothing, remember all those fans who are begging to see Caitlin play golf. Those are potential WNBA fans, people who might never have watched a basketball game in their lives, were suddenly interested in a basketball player that's marketing goal right there. And the WNBA, they let it slip through their fingers. This silence isn't just a missed marketing opportunity. It's a sign of a bigger problem. It's like the WNBA doesn't know what to do with a star like Caitlin Clark. They've got this incredible talent, this crossover appeal, and they're just ignoring it. Remember how fans were saying the WNBA doesn't promote Caitlin Clark enough? Well, guess what there? Absolutely right. The proof is staring us in the face, and it's not pro PR, and it just goes to show that all of us who have been speaking out about this and saying things like, it doesn't seem like you guys are giving Caitlin the kind of props that she deserves for bringing all these eyeballs. And you know the Caitlin Clark effect that we talk about, viewership money, all of those things, all of the people who were shouting this for the entire WNBA season is an instance where we are proven correct. Let's talk about what just happened with Clark's golf debut. The LPGA went all out on posting about Caitlin, correct? You can see her at the event, see the kind of noise this is making, see that SportsCenter Bleacher Report, and all of these places that you don't say anything, their social media was buzzing with Clark content, photos, videos, you name it, and they treated her like the star she is. What did the WNBA do? Nothing. You might be thinking maybe they just missed it, but come on, this was everywhere. The LPGA made sure that they paired Caitlin with Nelly Korda, their top golfer. It was impossible to miss unless you were actively trying to ignore it. They put their best golfer in the Tour League, whatever it's called, they put her with Caitlin because they knew that she would get more eyeballs. Doing that, they propped up all of their golfers in one event, and you would be crazy to think that they're not going to have another event and invite Caitlin to it. They're going to invite Caitlin to as many events as they possibly can because they saw what it just did for the sport of golf. Let's be clear, this isn't just bad marketing, it's a slap in the face to Clark, and the fans calling out the WNBA for not promoting Clark aren't just complaining to all the fans who support her. It sends a message that the WNBA doesn't care about its players' success beyond the basketball court. That's what we were talking about this whole season. We were correct, the fans that were saying that the WNBA seems to be trying to quiet the noise of Caitlin Clark, not letting her shine to her full ability and not in turn not helping your own players in the league. We were right, and this event proved it because the LPGA did literally everything correct. They capitalized on the moment. They found a way to put it on television. They allowed people to be there. The fans calling out the WNBA for not promoting Clark aren't just complaining, they're pointing out a real problem. The WNBA is missing chance after chance to build excitement, to bring in new fans, to show that they value their players. What is the WNBA thinking? Are they scared to highlight Caitlin Clark? Regardless of the reason, they're losing fans who are sick of seeing stars ignored. I don't understand why the WNBA is doing this, but it's worse in the long run because she's a member of a new generation of talent, and if the league doesn't change, they'll lose future stars before they even arrive. I feel like they made a lot of mistakes this season and weren't prepared for the moment, which just goes to show that you can be ready for the moment. Let's talk about Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins next season. Women's basketball Bueckers' future UConn star has more than 1 million Instagram followers, and Watkins' following is expanding quickly. These athletes are influencers in addition to being players. Just think of how these stars could feel if the WNBA treated them like Clark. Don't fumble it with those girls, or stop fumbling it now, because you're not only fumbling it for the current players in the league, but also for every girl who aspires to play professional basketball at some point. The league runs the risk of losing not just these players, but also fans, money, and growth. You have great players in this league. Paige is coming in, and Juju is there. The LPGA just demonstrated to the world what can happen when you embrace star power. They took a basketball player who wasn't even a golfer and made her a sensation for a day, drawing in viewers who had never watched golf before. However, the WNBA seems reluctant to let its stars shine, missing opportunities to promote players like Viewers and Watkins. Experts agree that the future of women's basketball depends on star power, and if the WNBA continues to pass up opportunities like they did with Clark, they risk losing new fans and viewers, which is fumbling it for people like me who never wanted to play professional basketball because I didn't see a future in it. Now, girls can see that they can make a lot of money playing, and that college isn't the biggest stage anymore. The WNBA doesn't mess up for all those girls either, and the worst part is that it's not just about the current stars, it's about motivating the next generation. Every time the WNBA doesn't make an effort to promote its stars, it's telling young athletes, don't bother pursuing professional basketball, we won't support you anyway. That's how you destroy a league's ability to grow and survive. That's where it gets really interesting. The WNBA is at a crossroads, and their next move could make or break the future of women's basketball. Will they learn from the LPGA and succeed, or will they continue to play it safe and risk losing everything? The WNBA needs to learn from this, and quickly. They need to start treating their stars like stars and get excited about players like Bickers and Watkins now before they even join the league, because if they don't, they risk falling behind in the world of women's sports, and once you fall behind, it's hard to catch up. The clock is ticking, and the entire sports world is watching. The LPGA did everything right, and they took use of the opportunity to broadcast it on television. Okay, let's wrap this up. The LPGA just gave us a marketing masterclass, and the WNBA had better take notes, because they demonstrated how to make a basketball star into a golf sensation overnight. That's the kind of thinking that propels women's sports. If you're feeling passionate about this, don't keep it to yourself. The WNBA needs to hear from fans like you say you want to see more of your favorite players, let alone share those highlights. Talk about those incredible plays on Twitter. Let's make sure women's sports receive the recognition they deserve. The ball is in our court, and now what will we do with it? Make some noise as their top golfer, and this is the ideal marketing opportunity, because let's face it, this isn't just about Caitlin Clark, it's about all women who work hard on the court, on the field, or wherever they compete. They deserve the attention, the cheers, and a league that will shout their names from the rooftops.